Hi, hello, welcome to Shan Moments YouTube channel. In this video, we are just going to see about aperture. What is aperture and how aperture affects the exposure. Okay. In our previous video, we already saw about what is exposure and what are all the factors influences the concept called exposure. We already saw it. And this video is going to be the second video of the photography concept series. Yeah, let's just right away get into the topic. Before going to the video, if anyone watching this video without subscribing to the channel, please do subscribe and support the channel. We'll just get into the topic. Hey guys, so aperture. What is an aperture? Okay. Let's just take a camera lens. Okay, in that lens there will be a hole. Okay, through which the light enters the lens and hits the camera sensor. Okay, this hole is called aperture. This hole can either be increased or decreased by changing the aperture setting. Okay, how does it affect the exposure of the photo? Yes, it has direct impact on the exposure. I'll just explain it to you. Let me say we have a larger hole in my left hand and we have a smaller hole in my right hand. If I place a torch in front of me, it's very obvious that more amount of light from the torch will enter into my left hand because it has a larger amount of hole, whereas very less amount of light enters via this hole. So it's very simple. If more number of light entering through that hole and hitting the sensor will have higher exposure in the photo. If you have a very small hole, then less amount of light enters this hole, very less amount of light will hit the sensor, so your photo is going to be very underexposed. How do we measure aperture? There is a term called F numbers. Okay, we measure the size of the hole by F numbers. So F number starts from 1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.8, 2.8, 3.5, like it will go up to 22, 32, like that. You have to keep a note of this thing. What? So if your F number is very small, then your aperture is going to be very large. I mean, if the F number is very small, then diameter of your aperture is going to be very large. F number is going to be very high, then your aperture diameter is going to be very small. So it is inversely related. Okay, just keep a note of it, because in the initial time you'll be a little confused, but when you get to practice a lot, then you will get used to it. Okay, so this F number only affects the exposure? No, it also affects another factor called depth of field. So when I bought a camera, I had a lot of dreams. I thought of taking multiple cinematic photos and all. In my concept, taking a cinematic photo means focusing myself very sharp and having a very blurry background. So when I got my first camera, I just took out the camera from bag and I just clicked a lot of photos. But unfortunately, I didn't get that much of a background blur in my photos. So when I surfed, then only I got to know that this aperture concept have direct impact on the depth of field. If you have the kit lens, the lens that you bought along with the camera, those kit lenses have F number starting from 3.5 to 5.6 maybe. So if the F number increases, you will have a very high depth of field. Okay, if the F number is very less, then you have a shallow depth of field. So when you have your setting at the lowest F number, then you focus on a subject, then you will have a very blurry background. So the aperture directly impacts two things. One is exposure of the photo and another one is the depth of field. So the lower the F number, have higher exposure and shallow depth of field. Higher the f number, have very lower exposure and higher depth of field. So this is about aperture. So if you have liked this video, please like, comment and share the video, and please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you will get the future notifications of our channel. So it's tata, bye bye from Shantanu until we see in the next video. Bye bye. Ta-da!